So, as we open, for you at the very least, it's been a couple of years now, a couple of intensive years of training since the disaster event that, well, not only shook the entire world, but redefined people's understanding of the cosmos and, well, for lack of a better word, the multiverse. Several years ago, this massive creature appeared as it passed the moon and was picked up by Earth scanners as the armies and militaries of the planet mobilized, deploying every weapon they had against. And it was just barely enough before, unfortunately, another catastrophe hit Earth as debris from the fight, well, fell into the orbit, but not deep enough as, well, the satellite network was completely and utterly destroyed, creating a rather prison for Earth, just as you were on the cusp of achieving your first colonization project on Mars. And this would have been considered the greatest tragedy of the century and possibly a almost apocalyptic event if not for the intervention of Palantir, an organization that showed up shortly after fighting was over and assisted Earth's governments and corporations with cleaning up the atmosphere using technology that was, well, magical even for the engineers of Earth. As well, the year was 2153 for you. Palantir came from a much more distant future. And, well, they were hailed as saviors, as many governments and corporations immediately chose to sign lucrative deals with them, as their technology and, well, prospects seem quite vital for future. But Palantir also had a project of its own, setting up this expansive training center. It's this large space station that was constructed as, well, they would reveal that this is what they do. Palantir is a multiversal organization that tries to contain the damage and help as many people as they can while also expanding their own base of operations. Unfortunately, though, traversing the multiverse is a complicated issue and something that most people aren't even capable of, which is, well, why they've established this training facility. Find candidates on Earth that are willing to sign up, offer them lucrative jobs, training, and, well, the chance to do something greater. Background didn't really matter, as the first requirement for someone to be able to even traverse the multiverse seems to be not yet well understood even by Palantir themselves, let alone your own engineers and scientists. They have merely a way to detect if somebody would even be capable of surviving such a journey. After selecting recruits based on that, your several year training, intensive training program resumed, where you would be given basic education on, well, a wide array of subjects. You would, of course, be allowed to sort of specialize in whatever thing you seem to enjoy the most, as Palantir requires all sorts of individuals, from scientists to investigators to socialites to soldiers. All of the above can find a place. in the wide network of the agency. You two are such individuals. Individuals that showed much more promise over these last couple of years, as last year you would have been informed that you have been selected for the Istari position. Special agents that are sent to infiltrate worlds across the multiverse to achieve more covert missions. One of the more deadly and also harder roles to fill, as unlike some of the other agents, you will lack the same amount of support. You are usually sent in first, ahead of the main force. Sometimes, depending on what the job is, it can be reconnaissance, investigation, sabotage. Really depends. The way the Palantir structure works is that an Istari team is deployed. It is made out of 4 individuals, and all of these 4 individuals have a direct line to that they can establish to call him a coordinator, codenamed Myron. Is there to facilitate mostly sort of communication, and in case you need extra supplies, you might be able to send them out to you. As well, today is, well, more or less the big day. You have officially graduated and will be given your next assignment soon. The two of you probably would have like spotted each other during training. You're not the only Istari who are part of this new batch. But you two have been assigned to a team comprised of 2 more experienced agents that you will meet soon enough. Right now, you find yourself on the corporate office of Palantir on Earth, one of the larger mega cities. As, well, you are next to each other, waiting outside to be summoned in.
Would we know each other?
Probably. At least.
I was. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I will say like Eve may be reclusive, but she's not a shut-in. So she would have mentioned her basic background, so you can like. And I assume Nova would also not be quiet about her basic background.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it can, basically like a small talk in between like training.
Yeah. Are you excited for our first real mission?
So you sip sir coffee. It's a job like any. It's a. I wouldn't say excited personally. We're going into hostile territory with a little backup. Personally, from my work, even if I was, even if I often encounter dangerous situations, at least I could rely on the fact that I had that I was still operating on my own jurisdiction.
I'm sure it's gonna be a fun experience.
As Eve slightly,
okay. A memorable one.
As Eve slightly rolls her eyes at that. Keep your wits about you, and you can keep the stories for water cooler conversations. Remember, we're going into unknown worlds with many unknown threats.
I am aware. I mean, I'm always careful, most of the time.
Yeah. You see the Bethesda press X to doubt face on Eve appear from LA North. Okay. Sure thing, Nova. Sure thing.
I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
I'm confident not trading in our allies.
I mean, they are experienced.
You know, because Nova is such a what's it supposed that matter? Because Nova is more of
Ah,
a
fuck the wrong chat. Ah,
Nova's a more you said sociable person, so talked around. Uh, the agents that you were told were gonna be assigned. Well, you were told that one of them, like they're both experienced as you were already told, but you know from a sort of the grapevine, one of them is a highly decorated veteran. Like he has been on many successful, very high-end, high-risk missions. Like he is very well regarded amongst the other Istari. Can't believe the cat sees tomorrow.
it did.
Gone to the wind.
He's eating our eyes right now. That's what my cat used to do in the morning. If we didn't feed her. Just fucking lick the jelly out of our eyes until we wake up or else. Yeah. Get up, open our eyelids, and they start licking. My cat would have ate my corpse if I died.
I'm pretty sure they do that. If you die and they're hungry, they'll be like, well, waste not, I guess. Meanwhile, the dog's like, no, I'll defend you, my loyal friend. I'll sit by your corpse and mourn you.
I'm back.
Okay, welcome back. What's the last thing you heard, Tamara? I was talking for a bit there.
Oh god, I'm so sorry. About that she knew about
Yeah.
two that follow us.
So you don't know exactly who they are, but rumors has it that you've been assigned one of the top tier Starry agents, someone who's had a long and decorated career of solving high risk, very dangerous assignments. It's just a rumor though, but people you talk to seem to think that the rumor is gonna be more or less reality soon.
Oh, she's gonna be excited. I mean, if Fuma proves himself right, we will be in presence of some great people. I mean, we can learn a lot from them.
For us then.
What you say?
Yeah, lucky for us then.
Surely, yeah, yes. Let's just hope it proves itself right.
And then Evil just nodded that as sipping her coffee before the mission debrief.
As yeah, eventually he'll be summoned into the office as you both enter, you'll see like 3 people there. As, you really recognize the two Istari. In fact, one of them is immediately recognizable, Simon Lythe. He is, in fact, well, part of the founding family of Palantir. He doesn't really advertise it much, but depending on if you would have done, because I think Nova, you would have learned this just through talking to people, and apparently for you, Eve, studying history is a bit of a hobby. So you
Yes,
probably
yes,
would have
for
read
sure.
more like in-depth Palantir like documents.
Yeah.
But no, Lythe is not really sure how he's connected. 'Cause at this point, the founding family has well, it's quite big now. But
I don't. Hopefully, this is not a feudal monarchy where name matters.
yeah, like it's mostly yeah. But again, he would have been part of the what you call it. Well, name matters because all of the lights are highly competent agents, that the ones that get involved, because not everyone in the family is like a field fucking agent.
Yeah, but not literally, legally speaking, tied down to I'm the founding father, I'm in charge.
No, they're quite meritocratic. Uh,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
but I would appreciate if I could finish my sentence.
Oh, pardon.
As yeah, you would have seen him around. People speak with him with a certain amount of respect. He again seems highly competent. Not much. You probably wouldn't have interacted with him directly, but through other people. And well, Silver is one of the Istari that probably would have actually participated in some of your training regiments over the course of the years. The way that you are trained is not with the same tutors every time. They sort of swapped in and out every like 6 months or so. So you would have seen both of these people around, but well, as far as you understand, there's not that many training facilities. So this one is still highly important, even if it's new. The third guy, you don't know who that is. You've never seen him before. As you kind of walk in, Simon is gonna gesture for you to take a seat. Welcome, agents.
Welcome. Hi.
My name is Simon Lythe. This is Silver and this young man, Drake. And well, you two here. We are gonna be forming a new operations team to be deployed. I was told you performed quite well during training. I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes if you want to introduce yourselves to the others.
Evil nod is safe to say. Eve Varney, 2 decades experience in counterintelligence. Fresh recruit to this organization.
I'm Nova Flores, top of my class. I'm pretty good at a lot of things. Mostly getting things done and finding things out.
I think you'll nod as the young man will say, call me Drake. I won't be on the field with you, but I'll be your Myron operative back home. As the The woman kind of chuckles and says, "Call me Silver. Bit of an old lady around these parts, but it's always nice to see new recruits. I think the first few missions are the most unforgettable ones." As Simon will nod and say, and, well, I will be your commanding officer on field for this assignment. Given your exemplary performance during the test run, you two have been assigned, well, what I believe is a task fitting to your skills. You will be deploying to a Nexus world. Not sure if you've went through that part in well, learning classes. You can give me a no roll, I suppose. Know what the fuck that is?
Oh, no normal reroll. Oh.
Nova, probably like heard the only thing you know about these places is that Nexus worlds tend to be highly unstable and dangerous, but not yeah. Never really like delved too deep into that aspect. But you've, well, Palantir would have provided an extensive library allowing you to sort of research on a variety of subjects. And well, Nexus points are quite important in the multiverse. The way that dimension travel works is that, well, people like Palantir who have the technology necessary sort of use these things called rifts, which tend to form the moment, well, two universes touch close enough, and sort of at that intersection junction, the rift forms. And well, certain creatures do have native abilities. People like Palantir just have actual like teleporters that they can use to use these rifts to actually physically traverse from one universe to another. And well, if you're lucky enough, you can actually bridge multiple multiverses like this. But problem is with Nexus worlds is that these are points across the multiverse that many multiverses start hitting each other and connecting, which causes, well, for reference sake, in the entire history of your planet, there's been one rift. A Nexus world can have 100 rifts a day, 1,000 rifts a day. There's no real limit. Some Nexus worlds are more violent than others. If a Nexus world becomes too violent, it might just collapse in on itself. And if that happens, well, it's a big disaster, and people need to be usually evacuated. But it also usually provides a lot of useful data, because due to rifts happening, a lot of people are able to capitalize on them and, well, advance their own like science projects, discover new forms of life. It's literally limitless. What because the multiverse, as far as Palantir understands, is infinite. So in an infinite multiverse, there's literally an infinite series of possibilities. And these like Nexus worlds allows people like Palantir to research and expand their already vast knowledge base. But like I said, it also means it's quite highly dangerous, as God knows what's gonna come through those rifts, or how those rifts will even impact the local environment.
You possibly say highly volatile, highly dangerous, hyperactive rift worlds, from my understanding.
Quite so. But this is gonna be just. This is not gonna be any Nexus world. Reason why I've been assigned to this, and well, we are heading there because a new Time Lord has set up residence. Give me another no roll. See if you know what the fuck a Time Lord even is. This is the info dump game.
Eve did do her homework. Eve did
There
their
we go.
homework.
There we go.
Nova's listening.
Yeah, listen. Well, listen, Nova. Time Lords are actually people, so they're a bit more interesting than just phenomena, I guess.
Yes.
So you both know Time Lords, as far as Palantir was able to explain in their documents, are individuals with the capability to control time. Whether that is moving backwards, forwards, freezing an entire fucking universe, making localized changes, making timeline changes. They are, in fact, one of the most powerful things around. As far as Palantir considers, they're unkillable. If a Time Lord is powerful enough, because not all Time Lords are like equally powerful, but some of the examples that they would give you are Time Lords that can just, like, even if you manage to somehow shoot them, they can just decide they're in a different point in time, and the bullet will pass through. They can literally freeze local time. They can freeze the universe's time. They can, if they want, actually erase entire timelines. They are as dangerous as they get. And the protocol is usually to not fuck with these people. Also, they are immortal. They don't really age. Time is a very wacky concept to them. So they're usually considered some of the most dangerous things out there. Luckily, there's not that many of them, because once one is discovered, there's a lot of hunters across the multiverse that will go and kill every other version of that person before they become a Time Lord. So they're quite rare considering the vastness of the multiverse. The chances of running into one are small, especially for people like you who are not that. But the problem is, since this is a Nexus point, Nexus points do tend to attract these folks. Because while Time Lords, what happens to them when they traverse into the future and into the past, they don't actually stay in the same timeline. What happens is they sort of slip into different timelines. They just change the point of time. So they have a sort of limited dimension travel ability, but it's unstable, unreliable, and most of them don't use it unless they're like with the back against the wall. But Nexus points provide very easy access. So Time Lords do usually appear around these sorts of places, so it's not unsurprising that one showed up. Most of them have very damaging effect. They either become tyrants, they become cruel, callous, they become quite detached over, well, their vast lifetime. And since there's no real way to deal with them, Palantir's protocol just says avoid them. we just work around these people.
Ignore them.
Yeah, you know for a fact there's other groups out there that like take a more active stance in fighting them, but those groups don't tend to live too long. They don't tend to have a high success rate. They tend to be more. They fight them on a more idealistic stance. which Palantir views as kind of like just wasting time and resources and getting people killed for no reason. So yeah, this is bad news. This is in fact horrible. We're being sent in this kind of mission. Sure, if you have there's any reactions to him telling you that, now that you know what the fuck means.
As Eve would simply say, didn't expect to be sent on such a dangerous area, but whatever it is, we'll get it done.
Indeed.
Is there a reason why we are concerning ourselves with Time Lords now? Usually we just turn a blind eye on them.
Well, fortunately, this Nexus world is quite important and a valuable asset. Normally, Palantir's policy would indeed state that this would be a timeline to avoid, but this is a rare opportunity for us to engage with a young Time Lord, one that hasn't fully come into his power, which provides us quite a lot of time to maneuver around him and set up countermeasures in order to, well, try to contain its power. This is in fact the stated goal of the mission. It is to handicap him, prevent him from expanding too far across the multiverse. And if we do a good job, we'll even prevent him from expanding too far into his own universe. As Silver will kind of chuckle. They, I suppose we'll have time to get allies on the ground, natives. Simon will nod and say, that will be your job, mostly Silver. We'll have to go across the world. There will be some basic files that we were able to procure. Fortunately, we're not the first people who have, well, landed or will land on this timeline. There is another reason why there's a secondary objective containing the Time Lord's activities. While important, I wouldn't say it falls outside of normalcy. As like the screen will flash to a different image. Our main objective is to deal and counteract with our secondary and more important, and also at the same time more reasonable objective is to counteract with certain people, certain entities that might take advantage of the Nexus point. We already have confirmation that Nox agents have been sent there. You give me another no roll, but this one's an extreme difficulty. This is a much more
Niche topic.
Yeah.
Listen, it's the best shot possible.
Now, Mac.
Listen,
3 dice, not the worst.
it's not the worst indeed.
The Italians hate you.
They hate me.
But yeah, no, listen, Nova, the name means nothing to you. Eve, you've read that, as far as you know, they're like an agency or like some sort of group that also like operates across the multiverse, and they're smaller than Palantir, but they're sort of they're much more violent and dangerous. They've been filed under do not engage under they've been filed under the do not engage category.
Yeah. Yeah, Evil Sumisega. Some kind of rogue orc.
Close enough. They are a rather interesting group with an agenda that clashes with ours. Whereas Palantir seeks to promote growth and cooperation, these people have a very much more well, what's the word in it?
Destructive, accelerationist.
No, fanatical. Yes, that's the word. Much more fanatical agenda. They are an AI supremacist group, and they want to spread and cause synthetics to take over as much of the multiverse as they can. They have influenced several timelines already. Like I said, they are a dangerous group to contend with. But in this case, I believe we still have time. They are our major competitor, but other small threats might appear. There's many entities looking to carve out a small piece of this Nexus world if they can. Unfortunately, the reason we know about Nox is they've already foolishly tried to assassinate Time Lord, and apparently they have bragged about succeeding, which we haven't been able to confirm or refute those rumors, but the claim is a terrifying one nonetheless. Because if they've managed to kill the Time Lord, that means, well, other Time Lords will find out about it, and I don't want to have to think about the ramifications of that.
I would say. Hopefully, it's just. I think it's probably just blustering.
Let's hope so.
Unfortunate fact with Time Lords is they might get quite upset if one of their own was killed. In fact, some of our investigators are considering the worst outcome, and what if there's a couple of versions of the same Time Lord, and well, the older ones might take severe issue with one of their younger versions being killed.
If you're immortal and you have quite everything to lose with the threat of death hanging over your head, especially if you're not used to it.
So, unironically, one of our first jobs, well, my first job will be to try to gather information. I'll be working on my own, so will Silver for the most part. You two will be working as a team since you are newer at this. We'll have means of communication. The knowledge of that Earth is quite limited, as we will be being deployed in the 20th century. Well, they don't even have internet or mass communication. They rely on telegraph mostly. Actually, I was gonna say, what the fuck are phone
Telegraph is
Oh,
you like.
I was gonna say telegraph and radios, basically, I think.
Yeah, no, radio, yeah. But for extreme long term, it's actually mostly telegraph
Yeah.
line. Like,
But yeah.
actually, depending on when, it's like there are phones. Depending on when, depending.
No,
I'm not
this
sure.
is before phones. He'll say like the fucking 60s.
19 or 20, 60s. Okay. Oh, never. Wait, 60s? We had phones in 60s.
We had phones.
Fucking
We had phones in like the World War in 1900. Yeah, they were like intercontinental phones in 1900. That covered most of the world actually. Also, like Africa, basically was the only continent left behind. And even Africa was
Yeah,
covered
no,
like in the
I'm
big
thinking.
cities.
Fuck, I was thinking of like cell phones. Sorry.
Yeah, so yeah.
The fuck was the first?
Very early actually. By 1900, most of the world was connected. Grunt
No, but I mean like cell phones.
in the 80s,
Yeah, I was gonna.
60s. No,
Yeah, no, I was fuck. I was like got confused. What I meant to say is that they lack cell phones yet,
cellular technology.
as he'll say. Most sorry, I've been watching too many Red Dead Redemption fucking videos. Not telegraph, telephones, but not cell phones. He'll say they lack cell phones at the moment. No internet, no easy way to communicate. They rely on static phone lines and letters mostly. Radio technology is also quite limited and very easily hackable for our Myron here.
I also have a question, Grunt, while you're not explaining. My
Go.
mind powers. How powerful are these mind powers from on a scale from VTM Vampire Discipline to Professor X from Marvel?
Well, it kind of says on the power. That you're limited within like visual range. That's the only thing that doesn't mention. But other than that, it's
Yes, that was that's kind of an important thing to mention. Visual
yes,
range.
visual
Gotcha.
range.
All right, good. Okay, good. That's what I was asking, but it didn't expect.
Your teleportation has no range, but the mind powers do.
Gotcha.
I'll say so we will have the edge on this one. While Nox agents are highly dangerous, they are brutes. And well, don't have our level of team coordination. So you shouldn't really have to deal with that right now.
C4 say, in my experience, most political fringe movements generally tend to have poor coordination. Mostly united by zealotry. With the exception of few elite cadres, I take it Nox is no different.
Fortunately, there's not that many people willing to work for the AIs that want to eradicate organic life. They don't have too many allies indeed. And given the state of the world and its limited technological advancement, most of their abilities are still completely nullified.
I do like the sound of that.
So, will be deployed in the late 60s. Your job will be to, well, so kind of push to the next slide. You see a very like intricate hierarchical fucking structure. It says infiltrate a global criminal syndicate that seemingly has a lot of power in this world. Call themselves the Stone. They are at the same time quite hierarchical, but they are prone to infighting and secrecy, which means infiltration to know how they function internally, not the most difficult thing. That will be your main job. You will be deployed in the city of New York. And, well, your job will be to make contact and slowly work your way up through the ranks and gain prominence. Hopefully ascend to positions of importance, which we will be using later and containing both Nox and other potential dangers. Normally we would be relying on the governments and other corporations, but this Stone organization has a lot of ties and strings it can pull amongst those institutions. So for this job, I've considered it more efficient to go after them. Also, due to their illegal activities, there will be less scrutiny on their movements from the public. Any questions until now?
Will any cover stories be provided and fake documents?
We'll be given some fake identities. Your cybernetic implants are not that obvious, so unless you use them in front of people, you won't be spotted. They have no way to detect them yet. Although I will remind you that the moment you display certain feats and abilities that are not natural of their world, people will have questions. Rifts have been slowly appearing at this point, so there are those who are a bit more familiar with the, as they call it there, the supernatural. So you will stand out severely if you use them in open. Tamara, your microphone is not working. I just saw it blip.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Oh, okay.
Not sure if you said something before.
No, it was just my keyboard. I
Oh.
picked it up.
Yeah, so come on, at the two of you say. Any questions?
Do we have any time limit or anything?
As soon as possible. Nox is not gonna wait, and don't know exactly what threats lie in wait.
She's just gonna nod.
Stone deals with all manners of criminal activities. I will leave third ones to you. Your skill set,
Yes.
I'm sure you'll be able to find your own niche within them.
As Eve will not simply was a request as a copy of the structure so I could do some reading before being actually deployed.
Documents will be provided and Myron will be able to be contacted. Luckily, there is a silver lining to all of this due to the fact that this is a Nexus world. Communication will be more or less instantly, quite easily achieved, and you will be able to use the overabundance of rifts to transport any supplies you might need. Also, in case you get put in physical danger to the point where we have to extract you, re-entry won't be too difficult. Might be a hard job, but you will get plenty of tries at it.
Sounds handy.
Yeah. Very well done. I think a few requisition forms for you, Drake, coming up soon.
Noted.
As with that, assuming everything is clearly done now,
Yeah.
Eve will just take her leave.
Simon will mention. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I have mind powers and teleportation.
I have shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters, you have you think Dark Instinct and Wisdom
Oh,
of
yeah.
Babel are
Yes.
like natural
Yes.
occurring? Yeah,
No.
They the chemical compound necessary for actually give me a second.
B24, proprietary recipe of Vaughn International, one of our partner organizations.
Unfortunately, Mac, the Palantir founder, was not a fan of the boys.
He has a Lord of the Rings fan, sadly. I know.
He is Lord of the Rings.
I know the Palantir founder. I'm speaking to him right now.
I found it. Same. The mithril chemical compound you actively received will be delivered to you on site through the same rifts every month. And have to worry about losing your special abilities. Any cyberware maintenance you might require will also have to be done on site by you, but well, given the fact that the world lacks the technological advancement to deal with them, I doubt you will face too many difficulties if you're somewhat careful with them.
Noted.
We have 16 hours before we depart. Have all been given files if you want to refresh your mind on the things we've talked about. Not meet you then at the spaceport that will take us to the rift. Dismissed.
Yes, Eve will give a simple nod as she has some paperwork to fill out and some reading to do.
Same for Nova. She would just nod and get up.
You'll be able to
Also talk with Drake eventually also about those cover stories as he's just the main organizer here.
yeah. Drake will remain on site. Well, not on Earth. He'll be on the actual fucking space station. That you don't need to worry about that. Those are for the minor operatives.
That's his job.
Yeah. But yeah, as you'll be able to look through the files again, and I'm not sure there's any particular things you want to do, conversations you have before the main event.
Would it be possible to talk to Silva?
Yes. Find her enjoying a nice coffee in the kitchen area.
Hi there.
Hey,
So, you ready for tomorrow?
sure am. You excited for your first mission?
Oh, absolutely. Might be a bit too excited, but can never be too excited.
Then it's your first job. It's normal. Get to see like a new world. Imagine 19 whatever when they're gonna send us. Different clothes, cars. They probably don't even have proper flying vehicles.
I mean, even those phones. I wonder what they look like.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're very big and blocky. Not very
Wow.
reliable either. They need
Great.
need cables for everything.
What?
Yep. Seems kind of silly in retrospective, but hopefully the air is nicer.
Let's hope so. Will at least be something.
Okay. Then again, you're being dropped off in a major urban center, so I kind of doubt that.
Gotta stay positive. Hey, have you ever been to one of those Nexus worlds?
Be my third one.
Any tips or tricks?
Oof.
Put away.
expect literally anything. I haven't been to one where a Time Lord was before. I'm not sure if Simon tried to kind of downplay it, but we did get an official message from the Nox agent that he was in fact killed, and actually kind of bragged about it a bit.
I
Simon,
see.
yeah, Simon's a bit doesn't want to believe it. I told him he should prepare for the worst. Cause I'm not supposed to tell you this, but um, we did preliminary readings trying to locate the guy, and no, we couldn't find his biosignature on the planet.
Oh, that's bad.
I think he might actually be dead because, like, super fucking young when they got to him. Being like 16, 17, something like teenager.
Okay. That's horrible.
Oh yeah, I listen. Hopefully he's like the only variant, and we don't have to. Because if his older self shows up pissed off, we'll be the ones left holding the bag. Um, I've seen what pissed off Time Lords can do in certain reports. I want to see fucking the universe get wiped.
We don't want that. I mean, maybe he's just good at hiding. Very good at hiding.
They don't. Problem is, he lacks the tech to hide from our sensors. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, I think Simon is kind of coping on this one. He's also, I think, a bit upset that the Nox girl fucking did something no one else could, and as far as I can tell, a very fucking long time.
So he's jealous?
I think he might be. Listen, Simon's a bit of a glory hound. Wants to be like remembered, like the best of the best kind of shit. He's, big achiever, big dreams, and listen, if this girl actually killed him, holy shit, she'll be a fucking Hall of Fame, I guess. They did have a bit of a advantage on this one. Apparently, the Time Lord came from their own fucking timeline, so they were like the first to know about it, which gives, I think gives them like a decent decade-long advantage, but I still think it's impressive.
I mean, I guess, but dude, it's still not fair. I get a head start.
Listen, that's why I make fun of Simon, because he's also complaining about that. But then I remind him, Palantir's objective is not to kill them, Simon. Palantir's objective is to contain the damage they can do and deal with other profiteers and beings that might want to take advantage of the Nexus point. So why are you so bothered about the fact that she still stole you?
I guess he's just jealous.
I think he is a bit jealous. But listen, there's gonna be still plenty of things around. Apparently, the increasing number of rifts. I can imagine we'll have, give or take, 5 to 10 years before shit really hits the wall. So you make good use of that time.
Yeah, better be quick. Thanks for the chit chat.
Hey, listen. It'll be fine. We'll have the comms so we can always chat. As long as I'm not deep undercover, I'm always down for a nice little break.
Sounds good to me.
I'll give you a smile, pat on the shoulder. You'll do great, kid. Keep that positive energy up. Your colleague might need get a dose of that. She seems so fucking all the time.
Oh, yes, she is. I need to get some sparkle onto her.
Should.
Yeah. I should get some glitter. I should, yes.
Chuckle. As long as you enjoy what you're doing, you're gonna be the best at it.
She's gonna put on a big smile. See ya.
Yeah, she'll take her leave. Any other conversation or things you want, any of you want to do?
Nope. Eve was mostly talking with Myron about details. Yeah, considering she's gonna be even during the stone asking him
Yeah.
about some weapon supplies and whatnot, because she's probably thinking of going just becoming basically a merc and working up the ranks that way.
Drake will probably in his office. He's looking very annoyed at your questioning. They will be able to find plenty of weapons on the ground. America in that time period is still quite armed, so unlike your future here, they're much more lax on the fucking gun laws.
He will not. Understood then. Oh, firearms done locally.
Those will help you stay a bit more undercover. They start seeing laser guns, they might have issues with you.
Don't worry. I didn't intend to pull out my use my old service weapon. I think a smart gun is kind of obvious.
I've already set up fake passports for the both of you. The bureaucracy back then was horrendous. But luckily that means it's also going to be harder to check in on you unless you cause some big stir. Plus, luckily for you, from my research, turns out the police force is corrupt as shit, so be able to bribe your way out of literally any situation, at least in the beginning. None of you actually.
When you cut out, I'm not sure if
No,
it's.
I was looking at the character pictures before like saying something. I'll say, luckily, I think none of you should trigger any racial profiling in that time period as well.
We have the correct skin color on the South Park racial difficulty slider.
So I will remind you that late 60s, I'm pretty sure that version of Earth, women are not, they're not doing yet that well. So there might be a couple of hiccups here and there, although from my understanding, the Stone are a bit more pragmatic, so hopefully you'll not stumble into too many issues. Probably the odd top comment here and there, and the usual sleazebag who, fortunately, hasn't gone through well, HR training, I guess.
I see. He's just kind of just chuckle. Even at least where I come from, those sleazebags are still around. There'll be nothing new.
You want me to drop the lore on you, Eve, or?
Oh, drop the law. Oh wait, are we in hold on? Are we? Do I live in the liberal utopia, Grant? Hold on, because I wasn't sure. I was
Well,
kind of going
the
free body
problem
problem,
is
or like.
that, listen, the problem is what because you live in a highly corporate environment. These sort of behaviors are so hard. They're like so cracked on. It's very like if you do that and you get reported because of the surveillance state, you're gonna get immediately fucked by it.
Ah, I see. Ah, I see.
So, well, I don't think you grew up on the fucking like dirty end of the streets.
No, no, no,
So
no. She was a middle class.
you are in the part, yeah, you're in the part of the world and the part of the cities which are heavily surveilled. So there's
Ah,
heavy surveillance. People follow the laws.
pardon me then. Remove that comment. I didn't.
Plus, people in this time period, unironically, are much more liberal and progressive than they would be 100 years ago.
Obviously.
So, at least from that aspect, it's been a gradual improvement.
Yeah. As Evil said, I don't know. I'll be going to the library and reading some photos on the mid 20th century American culture.
Yeah.
Let's hope, the Time Lord or his many incarnations don't come back for vengeance.
Well, if they do, luckily, I don't think the target number one for that, at least at the beginning. But I'll say this: the year of deployment will be 1970. I just received word that that's the closest rift that's gonna open. That's gonna allow us to travel. So, you can start your research there.
Yeah, she'll give him just a respectful nod as she heads out to the archives.
Yeah, listen, you can request. They'll give you some information, basic information on the specific you input. It's a very long fucking code number.
Obviously, yeah. So I assume there's many dimensions and realities. It's a
Yeah, you'll be able to pull up documents regarding certain like differences in your world and theirs. Do a bit of reading before you leave. Like, what? They couldn't even have a bank account back then. But yeah. Listen, luckily you're being dropped at the beginning at 1970, so there's already been a decade of activism, so it's not gonna be as bad. God, if you were deployed in the 40s or 50s, it would have been worse. But yeah. So, as you're able to do a bit of research and eventually get some sleep, you are all gonna meet together as you. The way that while traveling, will in fact embark on an actual fucking spaceship that will take you to the orbital station where Myron will be left behind, and the four of you will be sent on a one-way pod flight through one of the portals on Earth, and be a shit landing, but well, as you embark, you're given your documents and everything you might need on landing. Some cash, some basic supplies. As the four of you get into the space pod, and it launches. As you feel the rumbling the moment you pass through the rift portal. There are no windows, nothing, no point to view. There's merely a screen with diagnostics for the pod itself. As you feel this intense rumbling that lasts for about 10-15 minutes before it eases, and the screen will announce that descent is, well, 2 minutes away. As, well, re-entry is also not going to be a very pleasant experience, but luckily, don't have the shit rocket technology of the 21st century. You are living in the future. As, well, before you know it, the pod door opens. You are lying in a sort of large farm field. You're able to glance around and surrounding countryside. Simon and Silver will get out. Presumably you do the same.
Yes.
Simon kind of like pulls up this sort of like digital map. A little bit off course, but not that bad. Welcome to Earth. Starting date February 2nd, 1970. We're about 175 kilometers west of New York. I encourage you to grab the supplies, grab the money, documents, and either procure a car, hitchhike, make your way there. Me and Silver will do the same for our specific destinations. It's like checks the comm systems. Apparently communications is operational, as you all hear like in your headphones Drake speak. I can hear you loud and clear. Are you all safe down there?
All safe and ready.
Good. We'll keep in touch. If you need anything, reach out. Iron out. As Simon starts to like grab his gear, so does Silver.
Yeah. Eve grabs her backpack. She doesn't have that much yet.
Good luck, you two.
So Silver will smile and say, luck to you as well. See you in a couple of months, I guess.
We call.
We'll begin long journey towards New York.